What are we talking about this book about emotions for? I didn't come for therapy, Rev. I came for some church. Where is your Bible today? Well, somebody may ask the question, why are we studying this book? Why in God's name did I come to church on a Sunday to read and hear a book called Emotional Intelligence? I shared a little last week, and I said that, for my doctorate in ministry, they made us read it. So that's like one reason. But I have a few more reasons. The second one is our emotions impact success in every area of our life, especially our relationships, our jobs, and our ability to attain goals. Okay? So we could pray for all the prayers that come in every week. And let's face it, if I go out there and I'm an emotional wreck, my prayers, are metaphorically falling on deaf ears in the universe that God runs. And so another reason, why study emotions? Well, can I share a secret with you? But don't tell nobody. Every person on the planet experiences emotions. Did you know that? Every person on the planet experiences feelings. Every person on the planet, including the people we work with, the people we know, the people we share DNA with, has good days and not so good days. And the fourth reason we're studying this book in a church is because those people are us. The church is filled with people, and people interact and relate together. And so I want to share the next slide with you if you think this study is not for you. Is there a next slide coming up, Daya? Okay. Have you ever seen any of those people in your life? Okay. Do you work with any of those people? Okay. Some of you may even live with one or two of those people. And let's even, go a little deeper. Have you ever been one of those people? Have you ever looked in the mirror and seen that face? And then, let me ask you, have you ever regretted a decision or an action that you've made when you've been one of those people? Have you ever regretted something that you've said that you wished you could have taken back because it was in the heat of the moment? And so let's begin with us. We can go to the next slide. There are intelligence skills. And as I shared last week, 2013 is our year of undiscovered foundations. We're not going to build the house until we have a foundation. And we're definitely not going to build the house on sand because it just washes away in a flood. We're going to build it on solid ground, and we have to get control because our emotions are a gift from God. They are spiritual. They are who shows up in our life. And so today's talk is about self-awareness. The first quadrant, self-awareness. And I'm using, mostly from the book, page 24, page 61. If you have the book, and he says, simply put, to be self-aware is to know ourselves. And you're like, well, I know myself. And that may be true to a certain extent, but self-awareness is to know yourself, love yourself, be open to criticize or critically, improve yourself. To be objective with yourself, and to recognize there's no finish line. We don't get a medal, at some point that says, okay, here's the gold medal. You are now self-aware. You don't have to come back. You don't have to pray anymore. You don't have to study anymore. You don't have to do any more inner work. No, 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 no. In fact, we have another Unity minister here. I'd like to welcome Reverend Martha Creek. And she's here. And she's here from Louisville. You see, you got to say it Louisville. Okay, I dated a guy, and you don't say Louisville, you say Louisville, right? And she's here, and so she'll tell you the work is never done. If you want more joy, happiness, peace, the work is never done. It may be a new level, a new transformation, a new page, a new chapter, a new relationship, but be open to doing the work and always be receiving more about yourself. See, awareness is not just knowing what we like or don't like. Oh, I don't like that, or I don't like doing this. I'm self-aware. No, no, no. It's so much deeper than that. Awareness is the journey of always peeling back the onion skin, going one level deeper, knowing ourselves more, paying attention to who shows up in our situations, in our life, in our relationships, in our jobs. Self-awareness is about becoming more and more comfortable about the true essence of what's inside of ourselves. And that's the journey of Christ. That's the journey of Christ, the apostles that he hung out with, the people that followed him. It's about embracing the truth of who we are, being comfortable with it, and like a child plays with Play-Doh, allowing the creation and the creative forces that are inside of us to mold us. That every day we work up as a better man or a better woman. And so self-awareness is about the true essence. It's not about I like this or don't like this. I like, Italian food. I don't like this. I don't like this music. I don't like this. No, no, no. In the end, none of that matters. What matters is when you wake up in the morning and you go to sleep at night, can you say, I've been the best me that I could have been today, and tomorrow I'm going to repeat and do it again. You see, here's the problem, and there is a problem. It's an absolute problem. You may not like that word, but I'm real. You know what I mean? Real talk, man. There is a problem. The problem is our emotional reaction to anything happens before we have a chance to think. That we emotionally react, our facial expressions sometimes. We don't think I'm going to, roll my eyes at that man or woman that I work with when they say something that I don't agree with. No, the eyes just roll. And other people notice it and they're like, wow, what's going on with you? The problem is we have to keep practicing to be better people emotionally when we are emotional. Did you hear that? We can't practice in a vacuum. It's like trying to pray a prayer request that we really don't want answered. It's like trying to create a relationship with someone that we really don't want. You can't force certain things in our life. And one of the things you can't force is emotional healing, except in the moment that matters most, when we're feeling the feeling. And this is the whole story of the Bible. This is the story of the Bible from Adam and Eve all the way to Jesus. It's about learning to be the best son or daughter of God in the situation. It's about stretching and growing and feeling. I mean, look at Moses. Just go all the way back to Moses. Moses murdered an Egyptian because he was angry at what the Egyptian was doing. And it didn't matter what the Egyptian was doing, and that Egyptian represents our lesser thoughts. See, all of this is going on inside our head. We can't kill these lesser thoughts. In a way, we have to love them out of us, which is ironic, but that's how healing takes place. And so when Moses killed the Egyptian soldier who was abusing the Israelite slave, it was a good thing, but it was the wrong timing and the wrong emotional response for the situation. And what had to happen is then he had to spend 40 years in the wilderness in Midian. And that just represents, that 40 years. We know 40 is just as long as it takes to heal something. So you don't need to spend the next 40 years healing. Just read the book. Come to church. Show up for the healing service on Tuesday night. Say a prayer or two every day. And you're going to learn one of the greatest things to heal this stuff is laugh. Humor can heal many things. And so learning to cope with anger and frustration is a spiritual skill, church. It is godly. It is, the expression of moving through a transformative moment in our life and becoming better than the man or the woman who was there a minute or two ago. Because we acknowledge anger erupts. Anger erupts from the inside out. And so does every other emotion. Love, the same thing. It comes from the inside out. Laughter comes from the inside out. All of these emotions we have, we really don't plan them. I don't put in my phone or in my calendar, okay, Tuesday at 1:30, I will be feeling joy, for 45 minutes, and then punch out and go back to life. Emotions, they're like the ebb and the flow of the tide. They're like the beauty of God in us, because they also, the opposite of anger is love, and the opposite of fear is confidence and security. And so every emotion shows us something about ourselves, not about the other people. But we've been so trained to project our emotions on other people, we lose sight of the lesson. Remember, we need to fix ourselves before we attempt to fix or influence others. And too often we skip that step. And far too often, and I gotta say the truth, we do it in New Thought all the time. We do it in New Thought. We look at other churches or other people, or other ways people worship, and we're all high and mighty above ourselves. But you know something? All we can do is work on ourselves. And that's how we transform the world. Work on ourselves. See, I want a church where all of us go out to world this week and we're happy for no reason. And we're the optimist that drives everyone crazy at the office. And I want, someone to walk up to you this weekend and see that smile on your face. Because you know what people say when you're smiling, right? What's wrong with you? When was the last time someone has come up to you and said, what's right with you? Anybody? They think there's something wrong with us because we're happy. No. We were created in the image and likeness of God to express this joy. And so every opportunity that we have, say nothing, what's wrong with me? It's great. My life is great. Oh, well, you just got in that car accident, or you were just sick last week, or you were talking about you couldn't pay that bill, or you were telling me about problems at home, and say, yeah, and I'm happy. God's got it covered. I do my part. God does God's part. And then you slip in, what? You need to come to my, I told you, it's like when people come up to us and they're like telling us, their challenges and their struggles. And there are challenges and there are struggles. And people we know are hurting in this world. We need to just simply not buy into it anymore, because there's a difference between empathy and sympathy. Sympathy, we let them pull us down. And empathy, we pull someone up. And so, that perennial pessimist in the office, they need to know every time they come to you to complain about how the boss is, or how miserable the job is, or about how they're not fair and everything, say, you should come to my church and put that in my prayer box. You should come to my church and put that in my prayer box. Our prayer box works miracles. I've asked, let's do it again. How many people have had a prayer answered in this prayer box? Look at the hands. Lift them up high. Lift up 2 hands if you've had more than one prayer answered in this prayer box. Prayer works because mentorships work. Teamwork works. Every story that we read in the Bible where there was a successful ending, we see that the person dealt with themselves. We see that the person dealt with their own issues, and we see what happened is they attracted a teacher a lot of times who pushed them to heal. Samuel had Eli. David had Nathan. Timothy had Paul. Elisha had Elijah. We have metaphysically interpreted every one of those people. They're all on YouTube. And most importantly, we know the apostles had Jesus. And today and always, we have them inside of ourselves. That's the whole point of the Bible, is that the qualities of people that we read about are here for us to express today. We don't have to wander 40 years in a crazy life, because we can just read about Moses and say, I have the law inside of me. I have truth inside of me. I have Christ inside of me. And mentors, if you know anything about mentorship, they don't force you to change. They sit back and say, oh, how's that working for you? It's like a Dr. Phil moment. How's that work? Well, I'm going to show up and I'm going to complain and I'm going to be, well, you've been showing up at this job complaining for 16 years, bud. How's it working for you? And so mentorship is not about trying to change someone. It's about reflecting to them what they can change in themselves. And that's what this book is about, and that's the author of the book. And I put the author of the book on so you could see that this is relevant to our life today. Maya Angelou says, if you don't like something, change it. And if you can't change it, change your attitude. Well, I can tell you something. There's a lot in the world today I don't like. I don't like what I see on the news. I don't like certain things I see in our community. I don't like the way people are being treated. And I'm not going to go into all of that. If you know me, you know me. If you don't, if you want to know, just, read my Facebook page. It's all on there, the truth of who I am. But I'm just saying, but I can't change it. I can change me. I can change my attitude. I can change who shows up. I can change what I say. I can change my self-talk. See, it's impossible to leave our emotions out of the equation. And the goal of this book and the goal of this book study is to take time to notice and understand our emotions, because they have a strange way of controlling us when we least expect it. They have a strange way of railroading our success when we don't plan it. And without acknowledging them and just simply feeling our feelings and understanding our feelings, we can't be spiritual. We cannot be spiritual. It is that simple. We cannot skip the step of healing our own stuff and knowing and being self-aware of the truth of who we are, the good things about us amplified, and the not so good things about us dealt with on a regular basis. Because, well, Rev, I know this, but, I got to tell you, it's unsettling. It's not easy to face the truth about myself. It's so much easier to repress it. Denial feels so much better, Rev. It does. Tell me the truth. Denial feels so much better. You ever have someone show up to you and just go on and on and on about another person in the office, and you're thinking to themselves, do you know you? They're basically projecting all of their stuff on another person. But the thing is, denial does work for a season sometimes. But we're not here to get through a season. We're here to grow through a life, church. The whole world today needs to learn how to deal with their emotions, and we are the people to show them the way. Because we are the people who do not look to some God out there and treat him or her like Santa Claus. We are the people that look to God within us and recognize there is a power to change in our life, and we can express that power and joyfully show people there is a truth above the news on the evening. There is a truth above what we see going on the other side of the world or down the block from our house. And so getting in touch with our emotions does take honesty. It does take courage. And so I invite you to choose to transform the world by transforming you. I invite you to focus on the good that we can give and we can create and we can inspire and experience right here and right now. Remember, baby steps count when? As long as we're going in the right direction. As long as we're moving closer to God, as long as we're recognizing we're here to choose God, and choosing God is choosing happiness. There's nothing less. And so let go of your worries for a few weeks. In fact, let go of your worries for your life. Focus on the power that you have to change your mind. You know, there's homework this week. You know, you give homework. I'm giving homework this week. So everyone take out your homework. You got your bulletin? Everyone have a bulletin. Okay, the white sheet of paper. It says self-awareness strategies. There are 15 of them. Does anyone need a bulletin? Okay, our beautiful angels who sing. Can we get them a bulletin? Judy, Susan, Mike. Yeah. Okay, self-awareness strategies. This is, this is how we pay attention. This is how we grow. I'm inviting you to pick 2 or 3. Okay? Just look at them. This is how we grow and become emotionally sound people. And when we become emotionally sound people, we have the foundation for spiritual success. And so, you know, quit treating your feelings as good or bad. That's it. I'm just going to go over 1. You can read them. You can read the book. You can study this online. You could search it on YouTube. But feelings are not good or bad. They're just feelings. And you know why they're called feelings? Hello? Hello? Because we feel them. Say it. I feel them. I feel my feelings. Say it. I feel my feelings. Don't justify, explain, rationalize, deny, or project them. Because to heal a feeling, we just have to feel the feeling. And so that's the homework this week. You know, look through these strategies and pick 2 or 3 that you want to pay attention to, that you want to heal. And then watch when they show up. Watch who shows up. Watch what you like about yourself and watch what you want to change about yourself and be open to that change. And once you're open to that change, God takes over. Do you hear me? God does the work in us. Christ, the Spirit, is the activity of God in you. And all we have to do is be willing and open to change, and the change is already done. You know, it happens instantly in the spiritual. It may take a minute. It may take a week. It may take a month in the physical. But once the change happens in the spiritual, it's done in the mind of God. Miracles will happen as our self-awareness grows. What I see is my self-awareness. So if I see misery, what am I going to experience? If I see, hate, what am I going to experience? If I see conflict, what am I going to experience? And so look inside of us and believe in your ability to succeed. With God, we have the power over every result in our life. We determine how successful we will be, where in our mind with what we see. No matter what the current circumstances are, always maintain a belief that you have the power to change with God. Put God to work in your life and let the change happen. Don't try and force it. Think about the truth of how much you have changed. Think about how far you have come. Think about how powerful you are. And then let God move you to the next level. And thank you. I love you. And so it is. And so it is. God bless you, everyone.